What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm BDLM, coming with my buddy J4Y, bringing you this game between IQ and Gamer University International, which I have to say I'm having the hardest time not calling them G-Unit right now. What's going on, man?
Let's call them G-Unit, just for the sake of doing it, because it's a lot cooler anyways. No, I'm doing pretty good, actually. Pretty excited to get this casted. Excuse me while I turn off that little eyeball in the corner there for all the casters out there. But, yeah, I was told by my friend Semite here on IQ that this was a good game between them. It's definitely a competitive one for sure. Gamer University, people may have heard of them. They're an up-and-coming team. Obviously, this is their international squad. They have a website where you can do builds and whatnot. And Funzy, I don't know if you recognize him, Bedlam. It's actually, he was on that original MTW lineup with Cinder and whatnot. So
yeah, I do recognize the name. It's really cool to see that he's coming back in, coming up in a team note. Semite as well, another name I'm familiar with, so it's really great to see both these guys and all of these players in here in this game. You know, we're already pretty underway. The draft going pretty quickly. In the bans, we have the Kodal and the Darkseer out by IQ, and then Batrider Nyx. I don't think really any big surprises here. And then already almost to the first stage of the picks for IQ, Magnus, Shadow Demon, Lena, and then we're going to have Queen of Pain, Templar Assassin, +1 for G-Unit. Oh, the Lifestealer.
All very, very common picks, I would say, for the most part. Lena, not probably the most common of all of these picks, but definitely Shadow Demon, a very, very prominent support in the scene. You know, Magnus has been around for a while now because he's just so good. Sent those team fights. Wow, I can't believe how fast these bans are coming out, too. But the Jakiro, the Rubik, the Gyrocopter, the Brew, and the Lesh, like, these guys are just apparently ready to play. And there goes the Phantom Lancer ban. Do not want to play against that carry. So what are your thoughts already on these bans?
There are a lot of thoughts to be had. It's like you said, it's going so quickly. I mean, I think the big thing to point out is it's going to be really interesting to see what Gamer University does with their middle lane, because we already see that Templar Assassin that we typically see mid. We also have that Queen of Pain, which again is a really strong mid hero, so they do have some options as far as where they want to send those heroes. And, you know, a Lifestealer is just this huge hero as far as, you know, European Dota is concerned. He kind of is one of those big carries right now, that and Phantom Lancer, which we saw banned out. And so now it's back on IQ. They're going to go for Chaos Knight, which should be really nice to pair with that Magnus, get the nice AoE damage going with the Empower. And, you know, like you said, I mean, the Lena pops up every once in a while, but now, when you're comboing that with the Shadow Demon, I mean, that's a really strong tri-lane that they have set up right there. That's just a ton of crowd control, and with Soul Catcher, they might be able to get some pretty easy kills.
I was going to say, I mean, Chaos Knight Lena has also been a very common pairing, you know, in the past. You know, it's so easy to set up one stun with another. And actually, wow, the Dazzle, so that's not obviously a very regular support pick at all. I'm kind of thinking back now to Na'Vi when they were playing a couple months back with the Dazzle Lifestealer team, and it was just so hard to kill Lifestealer. He would have an armlet, he would toggle it on and off, and then if they needed to, you know, they would drop that Shallow Grave, and he would just stay alive forever and kill people. So I'm pretty okay with that for the most part, but what I'm kind of noticing now, Gamer University doesn't have a lot of hard CC yet, which isn't a terrible thing, but, you know, they are kind of lacking in that department.
Yeah, they might have to try and get their Queen of Pain to go Sheepstick right off the bat. We are going to have Weaver to actually round out the IQ lineup, one of these heroes that really started to come back ever since his ever so slight buff, and ever since then everybody's been like, oh yeah, what a great hero. We remember him from the first International. Still has a lot of great potential, and he might be able to really help give Lifestealer a hard time, be able to time-lapse to get away from an open wounds, and just be able to run around and be annoying while Chaos Knight's really up front trying to wreak havoc. But I really do like this, the Dazzle pickup. I mean, that's really awesome to see. If Gamer University run this really well, that just shows...
Whoops. That's who we forgot.
We did forget the Undying. I mean, we didn't have much time to think about it. I will say that.
I think IQ forgot about them, too, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you saw IQ, they really had a lot of support-focused bans in that last phase. I mean, the Rubik's the one that sticks out to me as really being one of the best supports, period, available right now. But yeah, Undying is a phenomenal one. So they actually now have a pretty decent amount of teamfight control, I feel like, coming out of Gamers University. So it'll be really interesting to see how this winds up working out. I mean, I think we're going to wind up seeing the solo Weaver with the off-lane Magnus, as well as that tri-lane we were talking about for IQ. And then what are your thoughts on G-Unit?
Well, they've got some interesting things. It's definitely, I believe it's got to be Templar Assassin, Hand up in the middle. They're going to put that tri-lane with Queen of Pain soloing. I mean, it's going to be such a strong tri-lane at that. You know, Dazzle, Undying, and Lifestealer. Not exactly sure how it's going to work, though. It's got some slow, it's got some damage, but like I said, you know, if they go up against a tri-lane of their own, which actually looks like they're not, since they are going to go... Both are going, you know, hard lane, tri-lane, so they're really trying to dominate whoever's soloing. And Weaver should be fine, though. He's really solid against teams that don't have hard CC, because if he doesn't get stunned, you know, he can just simply Shishuki away and he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I think, much easier for the Weaver. I mean, he's definitely going to be able to at least get a little bit of farm up, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of build he looks to go for, if he wants to go for the boots early or skip them like we used to see way back in the day when Dota 2 was first getting off the ground. Queen of Pain, I think, is going to have a rough time here, and it's going to be interesting to see what Tech Knight's going to be able to do, or Techniques, pardon me, is going to be able to do on that Queen of Pain in the offlane.
Yeah, and actually she got already Shastrike level 1. It's kind of interesting to see her already skill a point. Normally, especially heroes like Queen of Pain, especially by herself, will wait and maybe get that Blink level 1 just to be more safe. And you know, when you're going against a Shadow Demon Lina Chaos Knight, if you don't have Blink, you could be in a heap of trouble, so we'll have to keep our eye to see if she gets caught out or not.
Yeah, the middle lane's going to be an interesting fight, I think. Magnus, I think, and Templar Assassin are really going to have a good time here. They're both going to be able to get what they want. And then it really is going to, I think, depend on who is able to move around most effectively. I mean, of course, Templar Assassin, so powerful once she's able to gank those other lanes. And then Magnus, if he's able to get some good early reverse polarities out, that can just completely set up IQ for just a fantastic mid-to-late game.
Oh, invisibility now picked up by Lina, and they don't know because their ward is top here on the Radiant. So she's swinging one, but at the same time, Undying actually rotating. And is Lina, I think they're going to miss each other just barely. She's all the way back here. That's kind of an interesting position. I don't know why she's going... Okay, she's going all the way to top, possibly, except some kind of gank. Okay, I'm not... There's no way we can call what she's doing at this point. But there's a lot of people moving around, needless to say. It looks like Undying's going to just join Queen of Pain for maybe a 2 versus 2 for now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either of these teams is particularly happy with how the lane's starting to look with those solos. I mean, I think they both definitely wanted to wind up getting one solo against another, but unfortunately that's not how it worked out for them. So yeah, like I said, a lot of early movement, just trying to figure out what's going on. You have Dazzle and Lina behind the Tier 1 tower, just looking to try and see what opportunities they can find, but really a slow opening, and it's actually going to be this Lifestealer up the solo top against the Weaver. He should be just fine up here, shouldn't really come into any danger, and you can see he's leading the CS right now, 5 above that Weaver, so definitely getting a decent start despite the harassment he's starting to take.
Yeah, but Weaver's going to take off here. He's definitely going to love being in this 1 versus 1 situation, and he can just harass this Lifestealer pretty well for the most part. Probably won't get a kill unless this Lifestealer messes up, but still can have a good time. But you see this tri-lane, now it's tri-lane versus tri-lane, and that definitely favors Dire in my opinion, just because of how much hard CC. If they combo up one player really well, they should be able to get a kill. But we'll have to see, of course, how it plays out in this game. Middle lane, though, going back to that, Magnus, I feel like, should really be at a disadvantage here. I mean, Templar Assassin only needs to pop Refraction. It is completely safe from any of that big damage Magnus puts out. So really, it's just going to be kind of a farm fest with TA having that, CS advantage.
Yeah, I really like what G-Unit has done down here in this tri-lane. I mean, the really nice thing about this Dazzle pickup is because of that Shallow Grave. I mean, you look at IQ's tri-lane and just how bursty it is. They really are kind of just going to put out a whole bunch of damage really quickly. And so having that Shallow Grave is going to be great. They've already done some great counter warding down here, so they do have control of their jungle, starting to get their creep pools going. So this is going to be really nice for Chaos Knight. I mean, so far, you can just compare the farm. It's 8 to 10 if you're looking at Chaos Knight versus Nick. So they're both pretty much tied up here. So no real huge advantage to any particular team. Although you can say that for right now, actually in the top lane, Lifestealer and Weaver looking to trade blows, tries to use the open wounds, but it's going to be able to get away. Not enough damage coming out of the Weaver. And Templar Assassin actually gets killed middle.
How did we miss that? What a good rotation. Chaos Knight in the meantime, bottom is going to fall as well. At least I caught the tail end of that gag. But so it's going to be a Chaos Knight for TA, kind of an even trade, I guess. Both are really strong early game. Unfortunately, though, that's what happens when you roam middle. You're with your two supports. Chaos Knight, he was kind of in a poor position. He was trying to deal with their pulling, and he got caught out. They do have, a slow, two slows actually, and that could be enough for him to not be able to escape, as you saw. So, a good job, I guess, by both teams to get the kills where they could.
Well, I mean, I think this is really pretty huge in the middle lane. I mean, you look at Magnus is now a full half level ahead of the Templar Assassin. Just that little bit of an opening there is really going to get him exactly what he wants. He's so close to that reverse polarity now. And we still have to wait a little bit longer until Templar Assassin's able to get the control that she's really going to be looking for. Here in the bottom lane, have Shadow Strike coming out on the Chaos Knight, just harassing him back. I mean, that Shadow Strike's so good against the melee heroes. I'm really surprised. I mean, you look at the sort of combo that IQ have with this tri-lane, and they're just not able to get it off. I mean, there's so much mobility to it, the Queen of Pain. It's really hard, I think, for them to find that target and burst them down before they're able to get away or be saved.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing either way. I really don't want to leave the bottom lane camera-wise. I want to stay here and just see what happens, because the other lanes should be safe. Like I said, a Magnus versus TA, that shouldn't really end well or poorly for either team. It looks like top lane, though, finally going to be that switch I was waiting for. Weaver has been now, he passed Lifestealer, and he was definitely having his way with him. So Queen of Pain now coming up here should do a much better job against the Weaver. Meanwhile, Disruption used on an illusion in the jungle bottom. It's going to be a Light Strike array. They're going to realize, oh crap, that was just an illusion. Now they're going to get turned around on. There's the Lifestealer going ham on this guy. He's gone. Tombstone dropped, kind of overkill. But a very easy pick off there, and that's the power of a Lifestealer with everyone else. They have a lot of slow and a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was just a great idea to switch up those lanes. I think we were kind of both waiting for it to happen. This is definitely, I think, just works better for both these teams, really. Of course, the Lifestealer is going to have a little bit easier time being aggressive in the tri-lane, whereas Queen of Pain really just had the easy out. But certainly, I think this top lane is much more evenly matched now. Queen of Pain is going to be able to get the levels that she so desperately wants. The Lifestealer is going to be able to hopefully get some kills. So I think this is a good switch up by Gamer University.
Oh, they're looking for a kill. Dazzle's right here. Is the disruption going to go out? Actually, no. The slow is going to go down on Shadow Demon. He's taking a ton of damage. Chaos Knight in the middle of it. Lena just throwing out a wave. Here comes the slow. A good disruption. Light Strike Ray whiffing completely, though, and dying just in the middle. Here comes the TA, and she is not happy. Gonna get this Chaos Knight killed. Magnus TPing in, but nowhere to set up. Actually doing some pretty good damage here, and dying. The whiff, though, once again, and actually a shallow grave just to ensure it. Now TA in the middle of three heroes. Not going to get a whole lot done, though, and this is looking really poor for IQ. A really great rotation by that Templar Assassin, ensured a couple kills, and, they've got to be a lot more careful in that.
Yeah, I mean, going this Magnus build, unfortunately, it looks like he'll probably be going for the Arcane boost to give himself some more mana, because you saw, I mean, Shockwave, and then he was pretty much unable to pop a reverse polarity when he might have had a good opportunity or two to try and land one, but unfortunately not able to do that. And that's going to bring the score here to 3-1. We have the Gamers University looking to get off to a pretty good start. You can also see that they have the two best farmers on the map right now too, despite that Templar Assassin death, now leading 39-17, 9 above the Queen of Pain. I mean, the Gamers University, they really are getting a start they want. I'm going to go ahead and check out the graphs as well.
Oh, bottom lane action. In the meantime, Lifestealer getting initiated on. He pops that magic immunity. Is it going to be enough, or can Chaos Knight? No, he can't catch him, and that is exactly why he's meant for that bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, Rage is such a fantastic ability, so it's great to see. And I just want to point out, too, 3,000 experience bonus for the Radiant. They're leading in that graph as well, so they're definitely getting exactly the start they want.
Yeah, that really is. This rotation was very smart by them. Glad they did it. Now they can have a lot more safe and reassuring time. And Queen of Pain just having a great time top lane. Of course, Weaver hasn't not so bad either. You can see he went Tranquil Boots. Wraithbane, he's gonna have the Ring of Aquila up here. And meanwhile, bottom, God, I can't take my eyes off it for 2 seconds. You just know something's about to break out here. And, very scared about it, frankly. Actually, in the meantime, middle, this TA really wants to do some heavy harass to Magnus, but he's going to be just fine. I mean, the Skewer is such a great way to escape any situation, so, once again, he'll be safe.
Yeah, it doesn't have to travel very far, so those low levels in Skewer, it's okay. Magnus can still get away from them. But yeah, I mean, this is the great thing. I just love this bottom lane because of that. The Undying, too. I mean, just the decay that's able to happen down there. It makes it so difficult for the Dire to try and do anything. You can see right now, they're just sitting on their tower. They can't push out at all. And the Queen of Pain, though, is sitting down here, which means the Weaver's getting some free farm. He's up to 33 CS, has the Courier flying out to him right now, bringing himself a Wraith Band. So he's just getting free farm in the meantime. So, you know, is it worth just having your Queen of Pain down here to be scary? I have to wait and find out.
Yeah, there's actually a really good ward here by the Dire to spot them out. You can see Dazzle, you can see Undying. You know, they know where the tri-lane is. They don't maybe know exactly about this Queen of Pain, though. And she's, once again, she is taking her time. Wow, TA even porting in. It's going to be a 5-man team here. And are they going to try to set up something gank? It is 4 of them, though. But I don't think IQ knows what they're up against here. A slow coming now on the Magnus. Here comes the TA, hasted up. But it looks like the gank was indeed failed, and I think it's all props to that observer ward there spotting it out. So they're going to live to see another day here.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a chess match with those wards. I mean, you can see there's a sentry placed there earlier. We did have some back and forth there as far as the ward placement earlier on. So, yeah, I mean, it's great to see that observer ward placed a little bit lower so that it doesn't get denied off, and they do wind up getting all that vision, and that's, you know, so important here. And for now, actually, the Radiant pushed up this bottom tower. We are going to have Queen of Pain return top, so now it's going to wind up being a 4-on-3 if the Dire want to try and really force something down here in the bottom lane. But now, yet again, now we have
Weaver, sorry, meanwhile, top uses the time-lapse, going to get one more attack, and Queen of Pain will fall. That time-lapse was perfect. Oh, and bottom in the meantime, wow, Undying taking a lot of damage, good TP out, the Shallow Grave. No, will not help him survive because Magnus will use the ultimate. A huge turnaround here by IQ and really 2 important kills there.
Yeah, I mean, why not drop the reverse polarity this early? It's a lot like the Enigma Black Hole. I mean, what are you really losing at this point? What are the odds of you having a huge engagement, despite the fact that we've already had so many heroes down here in the bottom lane? But again, the Templar Assassin in that middle lane looking to farm up now, putting some harass on that tower. It has the double damage rune coming out of the bottle. So this actually is going to mean the first tier 1 tower, perhaps. The rune will be popped. Looks like Magnus wants to contest this. Going to try and come in and put up some damage on Templar Assassin. Going to try and defend if he can, but she's going to try and run right in. Pops new refraction, skewering past the tower. Going to be trading some auto attack damage for the moment. Not going to be enough though. A TP comes in the middle lane, but Templar Assassin does get the kill on that tower. And it looks like they're just going to go their separate ways now.
Yeah, he tried, but honestly, what are you going to do against a Refraction DD Lanaya? I mean, she's going to just do way too much damage at this point in the game, with phase boots on top of that. You know, he did his best effort, but it wasn't enough at the end of the day. He hasn't gotten a lot of farm, though, recently. You see he's still at 23 CS. Chaos Knight, too. Weaver's the only one on his team really getting any kind of farm. The rest are more just focused on ganks and kind of protecting themselves. Oh, you see middle now. He's going to skewer again. He just has to be so defensive against her, and it's kind of what we predicted at the beginning of this matchup, was her just kind of having her way middle and no one really to stop her.
Yeah, I just want to point out there's kind of an interesting item choice. I think that Medallion of Courage coming up on the Weaver. Really interesting item. I mean, you have the Dazzle. It's going to be buffing up the Radiant Armor so much, so interesting choice to pick that up. And he's also going to be able to use that on the Roshan as well. You can even use it on the lane, just try and ensure yourself some easy creep kills as well. It doesn't really cost you anything if you're you know, not looking to take any damage in the near future. But we are going to have another hero coming down to the bottom lane for the Dire, and actually looks like Lifestealer once going on Chaos Knight. Great disruption is going to save him some damage, and now actually Dazzle just gets bursted down. Undying taking a lot of damage will also get taken out. Chaos Knight picking up that last kill. Misha actually just sitting around looking to try and pick up the last creep kills, but actually Templar Assassin running in 1 attack, 2 attack, 3. It's going to take out Shadow Demon, but a great reverse polarity. The Light Striker are going to come in and ensure the death of 2. Actually, now we have the Queen of Pain come in, drop the ultimate. Going to continue up this attack onto the Chaos Knight. The slow already coming out on her. 4 seconds. Stun might just save his life. Lifestealer trying to get the last auto attacks in, but he's not going to be able to do enough by the looks of it. TP now coming in for the Dire. Misha a little bit too far pressed up, perhaps. Weaver looking to pursue. Does have the ability to throw out the Swarm if he wants to. He will do that, doing some additional damage. The Rage will come out from Lifestealer. This is going to put him back under his tower, but the Dire might just want to keep this going. The Skewer coming in. Great hit there, but underneath the tower is the lifesteal from Lifestealer going to be enough. Dazzle looking to try and keep up with his buddy is going to drop the Shallow Grave. Lifestealer going to try and come in and get some auto attack damage and the heal off, but Lifestealer is just going to have to TP out. Absolute victory for the Dire by the looks of it here in this fight. Templar Assassin wants to see if she can come in and try and clean this up. Going to try and go underneath the tower, try to find Oathkeeper, who is in the back. He doesn't have the mana to TP out. He's just going to have to break ankles if he's going to get out of here, and it looks like he will. But no, the Blink Dagger up on Templar Assassin going to be 1 kill. But a 3-second stun from Chaos Knight means they will get a rebuttal and will just keep going.
God!
He comes in, gets disrupted out. Will this be the time they finally look to stop? No, not if Undying has anything to say about it. He is going to try and run up here. Does have the 2 points in the Tombstone. They do have the ability to go here if they want to. Queen of Pain going to blink up, going to scream.
Woo!
Yes, that's it. That's it.
I think we can finally put the book down there. Yeah, that was wow, that was a fight. And you know, at 14 minutes in, those kind of fights can happen all the time, especially with diving aggressive lineups. I mean, you know, they were at each other's towers back and forth, and you know, when they're dead, they're only dead for 15 seconds at the most. So they'll just TP right back into the action, and they have a lot of high damage burst on both teams. So it's really interesting to see this, and they're not done just yet. You see, it's 5-man Dota already at 14 minutes in this bottom lane. Nothing really happening except pure team fights. You see the Shadow Demon gonna just go ahead and disrupt himself to try to survive, trying to block, but he's gonna just get bursted down already. A lot of AoE damage, a great Magnus ult now lining these two heroes up. Can they get the kills is the question. One goes down. It looks like TA is going to just Shadow Meld, just chill there for now. Queen of Pain taking a lot of damage, so is Chaos Knight, and it looks like he's gonna fall as well. Now Magnus on the retreat, a Light Strike Array just keeping him alive for now, but he's going to fall too. Weaver in the back. Can he get any kills here? It looks like Queen of Pain will be one to fall. And it looks like a time lapse is going to just save Weaver's life here. And that might be the end of this encounter, or is it TA following up this Weaver, but he should be easily able to outrun her with that Shishuki.
Yeah, I mean, really unfortunate for IQ right there. I mean, you could see in the team fight, Undying drops the Tombstone, and right now it's only level 2 when he dropped it. And you saw Magnus immediately, as you should, look to go for that Tombstone, but it has a decent amount of health already. When you just have 1 or 2 heroes trying to bring it down, it took forever, and he wound up just staying there a little bit too long trying to kill it, and it spelled his death. So, you know, just showing you again why Undying is so strong. Just has those arcane boots, but able to do so much inside these team fights. I don't even think we saw him drop his ultimate in that engagement to boost the amount of damage.
A lot of disruption coming out. This Dazzle's in a lot of trouble. The skewer plus the damage from the shockwave. I mean, it's just so much burst, especially, and I think that's why Shadow Demon is used so much. You know, that Soul Catcher amplifies damage tremendously. So with a bursty lineup like this, you know, you get just that much more damage out of it, and this might finally be a tower push coming out for the Dire side here.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Shadow Demon is used. I mean, he's one of these few supports that scales in the late game. You're going to expect to see that increase in damage until this game is done. And, you know, for the meantime, we're just going to have in the top lane Queen of Pain taking a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of extra harass. We were pretty secure up here, going to be able to continue to farm too. So it's really just an overall victory for the Dire right now. And I just want to take a look at the graph. You can see they're actually looking to maybe get the goal graph back to 0, push it a little bit closer. Really an even game, though, as you can see, 9-11. The advantage is within 1,000, so just really great on both sides of the board.
Absolutely. Weaver now, he is a strong one. I did not expect him to be like the carry of this game, but he really is doing a lot of damage, and I think it's a lot to do with that medallion. You know, one-on-one, yeah, he pops that on the Queen of Pain or someone. They take a ton of damage and can't deal with all the Geminate attacks that come out. And now he's got this ultimate orb up. Might be going for something like a Lincoln's against all this single target slow and whatnot. But then again, you know, I've heard of crazier ideas. So you know, who knows at this point? We'll just have to kind of let it play out.
I think it's important to bring up just the warding. We have this nice Radiant ward watching the river, as most wards do, but then you have these 3 in the bottom Radiant jungle here. I mean, the Dire are just so interested in playing aggressive and being able to hold down the Nyx, and that's, I think, really a huge part of the Dire's potential victory here. That if they can just hold down that one hero, they have a pretty good chance here. He is really the one that's going to wind up snowballing, getting out of control. I mean, clearly Queen of Pain and the Templar Assassin are able to do a whole lot, but it looks like right now we're just going to have a tower trade. The tier 1 top for the Dire will drop, as well as the tier 1 middle by the looks of it, unless we get some TPs coming out very quickly, but we will definitely see both of those fall here. And so that's actually all of the Radiant tier 1s. You can see Weaver did a really good job in that top lane, being able to help push down that tower by himself, while we still have the tier 1 bottom for Dire.
Yeah, no, really good. And teams pushing when they know they need to instead of just farming away. You know, really smart choices there. So we've got 3 tier 1s down. for the Radiant. Only 2 down now for the Dire. It looks like Chaos Knight is against this Invis TA, and Queen of Pain's here too. Chaos Knight is in a lot of trouble without knowing it. Here comes the damage. Queen of Pain just ulting. And that is going to be his quick death. So Chaos Knight not having a fun time this game. You know, he was starting to make a little comeback there, but really good gank setup there by Gamer University, and yeah, going to lead to his death.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I think IQ are really doing a great job taking advantage of the team fight potential they have. I mean, understanding that they have a pretty clear advantage as far as their spells are concerned. And I was going to say, Queen of Pain, you know, before that kill rate there was level 9, and Magnus is getting into level 10, getting some extra damage. But actually, it looks like in the middle lane, Misha is going to be able to get out just fine, pops that rage, and I don't think Skir would have taken him anyway because of the change to that. But he is just going to be able to walk out, no harm done.
Yeah, I mean, that rage is such a good lifesaver, honestly. It does a fantastic job doing what it needs to do. It lasts so long, you know, he did prioritize that in his leveling, of course, so 6 seconds of just pure magic immunity against his Dire lineup. You couldn't ask for much more. Of course, Magnus will still work through it if he can get to you, but aside from that, you know, it's not going to be such a big deal. He's got 1,300 gold banked up. Now, I guess what we think here is he's going to go for this Blink Dagger for initiation for his team, or something else.
I'm not sure yet right now. We'll have to wait and see. I think Magnus will definitely probably be saving up for that. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was busy looking at other things. My apologies, good sir.
That's your job, man. That's cool.
You know, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled. You know, gotta be ready for anything. But yeah, and that Blink Dagger is gonna be huge. You know, I was trying to say earlier, IQ are really, I think, sensing their ability to take the team fights pretty easily between the reverse polarity and the disruption and all the great spells they have, and just the level advantage they had over heroes like Queen of Pain before that gank on Chaos Knight. But now you can see the Magnus, the Queen of Pain, they're both pushing level 11. Queen of Pain now is actually looking to get the level of 11 ultimate before Magnus. So maybe we're starting to see, you know, the tides change here, and maybe you can see the Dire now, instead of being inside the Radiant jungle, have now backed off. Wait a minute, guys, let's just try and make sure we can get our items up here first. Might be waiting until the Magnus does get that Blink Dagger before they want to make any moves now.
Yeah, probably for the best choice there. Queen of Pain and Little Nia just kind of sharing farm top, each doing what they need to do to get some kind of items. Queen of Pain actually did get it all to orb. Very helpful, going probably towards Sheep Stick. We'll have to see, of course, if we finish it. But some CC, and that's what they need on Weaver. We said, of course, at the beginning of the game what they need to do to lock him down. Well, it's pure CC, and they don't have that, so that's going to be a great item choice for her if she can eventually farm that up. Weaver now 2,500 gold sitting in this bank. Not exactly sure what he wants to do with it quite yet. Could almost finish an item if he so chooses. Templar Assassin, what did she spend her money on? Because she definitely, it looks like it's coming out. Oh, Yasha. So she's going to go for that Manta and just be that much better at pushing and all-around damage.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if she actually just sits on the Yasha, or if she looks to turn that all the way into the mana right away. And I think another interesting choice to see here for the Weaver is if he looks to go for that as well, or if he just looks to go for the Lincoln Sphere just to get himself a little bit more durable, which is what I think I would expect for him to do. Not too many spells are going to be able to pop at this game, so just being able to take care of those right away will be great. But I just want to look again at the last it's denies. Weaver and the Templar Assassin pretty close. Templar Assassin a little bit up, but then you see again it's just the Radiant. They do have just this slight farm advantage. You look, I mean, Queen of Pain has double Magnus's CS right now, and that's really huge. And you know, like you were saying earlier, it's really going to be this crowd control, the items that they're going to be able to get up, because you know, Gamer University, they have to fight multiple carries. I mean, you do have their Lifestealer, you do have the Templar Assassin, but really, I mean, I think you look at Weaver, Chaos Knight, and Magnus, especially once he starts empowering these heroes, it's a lot of damage to have to try and deal with and fight in later parts of the game.
Absolutely. Lincoln Sphere recipe is bought up now on the courier, so that is indeed what this Weaver is going to go for. He's almost got enough for this purse, and it should be done just now. So he's going to have that Lincoln's up. That's going to help tremendously against all these single targets that are coming out. You know, Lifestealer slow, Queen of Pain Shadow Strike, Dazzle. You know, it's going to be all around a nice item, also be a little more tanky. Chaos Knight looks like he's so close to that armlet. He wants it, but he's in a lot of trouble. He could be if he sticks around too long. TA going to open up. Wow. That is some hefty damage on a Shadow Demon. Oh my god, Magnus, you are in the middle and thick of it. He's got the Blinka Skewer Dazzle back, but he's going to get that Shotgun off just in time. And now the damage turned around. An amazing ultimate, though, by Magnus. Getting 3 heroes, 1 goes down. Magnus might drop as well. Not quite. It it looks like Dazzle's going to die for sure. And right now, a 3-for-1 trade. This TA doing so much damage, getting the slowdown now on the Lena, but has to deal with these Chaos Knight illusions, and he might not be able to get the kill on her, but I think they're going to go for here.
That was such, I think, great timing by Gamers University. I mean, you were just mentioning how you had Weaver finish his Lincoln Sphere. You had Magnus, who actually just picked up his Blink Dagger, and that was a beautiful reverse polarity on him, but he could have been using that against the Radiant when they were caught off guard and unawares with these big items that they were just able to complete. The fact that Gamers University were able to just take it to the Dire team instead of sit and wait for them to get initiated on, I mean, I think that's just beautiful right there. Now they're able to pick up a little bit of an advantage there. I mean, you saw 3 kills going the way of the Templar Assassin, I do believe, but Basher is now up on the Nyx as well, so he now has himself a key core item, that and the armlet. He's going to have a lot of attack speed, a lot of opportunities to stun the Weaver, help hold him in place.
Yeah, that's a really nice pickup there. Yeah, just like you're saying, more reason or more ways to kill the person that right now is giving them a lot of trouble. I mean, late game though, you do have to be concerned with the Chaos Knight, despite his farm and money not being where it should be at this point. He's going to have this armlet up soon, and when he gets that level 3 ultimate, it's really when you see his damage just come out, doing a lot of damage in those fights. And it is something late game they're going to really have to be concerned with, this, along with this Weaver. So definitely interesting to see how that develops later in the game. But Lifesteal right now definitely on top of the world net worth. TA at 10,000, Weaver at 9, and then of course Queen of Pain, Lifesteal are right up there afterwards. So all around, Gamer University definitely holding the reins, but it's a close game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very close, and I mean, that's what makes these games fun to watch when they're close. It's not as much fun to watch a stop, and I'm definitely glad we get to see this. 13-12, I mean, how much closer can you expect it to get? It really has been a joy to watch so far. I want to go back, because again, when we were looking at the draft, we didn't have a ton of time, because both these teams apparently knew exactly what they wanted to do. Chaos Knight didn't put in that aggressive tri-lane, sure, great, love it, but this might be one of the few times I've seen Chaos Knight of late without that Wisp combo, and I don't know, I'm kind of starting to get that feeling of, that being the combo to get, and it might not be worth, picking up the Chaos Knight if you don't have that global mobility, because really, what have we seen out of him that's been all that spectacular since his, tri-lane escapades? Not a whole lot, but actually in the middle lane, it looks like we're going to have 3 heroes looking to go in on Misha, but again, comes right out, rages up, walks away, Undying looking to escort him out, also having the Templar Assassin to watch over him as well. And they get to go back to farming, which it looks like they're content to do right now. Templar Assassin, though, sitting on 4,000 gold. I'm still curious to see if she looks to maybe just go for a Dezo instead of going for the Mana style. I'll have to wait and see.
I'm pretty sure it will just be that Manta, just because it's pretty typical. You'll see her do it just for not only good pushing and damage in team fights, but it's a good way to spell things like Soul Catcher as well, or maybe even Medallion. It's got its perks for beyond just getting these illusions for damage. So. Either way, it'll be a good choice. Dezo on this team for sure would add just so much more damage for the Lifestealer. Definitely a solid pickup eventually. Weaver, in the meantime, going 1 versus 1 against Lifestealer, definitely, oh god, he's such an annoying hero to deal with. And this is why, I mean, we haven't seen him in a while, but when we do, he does things like this, and you just want to scream when you're on the other team, because you can't really fight him. If Lifestealer tries to go up and attack him, he's just going to shoot you away. But, he's going to keep doing this harassment and definitely win this out one-on-one. So he's going to need some support to defend this tower.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how aggressive Weaver's playing. I mean, it's so easy for him to do because of the number of escapes he has. But really not a whole lot of vision down here. And now it actually looks like the Radiant Noose trying to tighten here. They want to see if they can try and get themselves a kill on him. Templar Assassin Trap being dropped. They do have the Dazzle as well. Infest being used to just clear off some creeps. But, yep, that's all they can do. They can't really look to chase him down, and Weaver now sitting on a quarterstaff will be looking to probably go towards that butterfly just to get himself some more survivability, some more damage.
Yeah, that definitely would be a good pickup for sure. It could be an Orchid. Let's not rule it out. I mean, we should rule it out, but it's probably going to be something like a B-Fly. That would make a lot of sense. Of course, there's some good auto attacks coming out from both TA and the Lifestealer, so to have that evasion just on top of everything else, really easy to survive and put out some good damage. Armlet finally done Chaos Knight with 1,300 extra gold. Probably going to go something like BKB or maybe something a little more unconventional. We'll have to see how he decides to build it. The Scythe of Vise was finished on Queen of Pain, a very big pickup. going to be so helpful for locking down. Actually, also has a Gem of True Sight. I'm not sure if she bought it or someone else did. But now they're just going to try to ward clear and see if they can do... Oh, they're going to go for this Weaver. The Lincolns is popped too. This is going to be a lot of trouble. She has no idea. And there's the Sheep, the Queen of Pain ult. And they're going to get this kill before... No, the Glimpse is going to get out. Will he survive, though? A bash does land. But he might just survive yet. One more auto attack might do it. No, he's going to escape that Glimpse just in time. And that is the power of a Weaver.
The time lapse is such a great ultimate. I mean, he literally pushed it to the wire. I mean, Undying did a great job playing the damsel in distress, trying to bait it out. But, you know, that failed gank, unfortunately, means a lot. I mean, it shows that, hey, Queen of Pain now has the Slice the Vice. Queen of Pain has a Gem of True Sight. That's a lot of information for the Dire for absolutely nothing. You can see Magnus in position, wants to be able to blink in and get a great reverse polarity down here at the bottom lane. And actually, you have a stun coming out from the Chaos Knight, but the Disruption actually is going to save Dazzle. Now the reverse polarity being dropped is going to catch 3 behind the tower. Going to have the Dragon Slave coming in doing a ton of damage as well. Shallow Grave going to save the Dazzle for a little bit of time, but it won't be for very long, and you're actually going to have 2 going down. Infest being used to save the Life Stealer, but he is actually going to wind up getting cleaved down right after the Queen of Pain gets annihilated. Triple kill there for the Chaos Knight. All of a sudden, he's sitting in a very good position. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you just have the Weaver and the Templar Assassin facing off against one another. I mean, a huge swing for the Dire.
Oblivion Staff. That's an Orchid coming up. And boy, it's going to be interesting.
Or
okay, there's other choices. But he's actually tried to duel this Templar, and he is not winning. This is a hero that will go toe-to-toe with him. And she will get that tower and blink away to safety here. And Chaos Knight, in the meantime, just trying to take out these Manta illusions. But that was such a huge kill, and you see the Yasha, so he is going Manta. And honestly, not a bad choice. BKB, you know, the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, it'd be pretty good against, like, Queen of Pain, but against these other auto attackers, not going to be that much more effective. So, you know, he's going to have tons of illusions to do damage with. And you saw how much he put out for that last fight, getting that triple kill. So, wow, really good job by IQ there.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that decision a lot. I mean, they do have the Queen of Pain ultimate for Gamers University to try and clear it out. They do have the spill damage from Templar Assassin, but, I mean, once you get an opportunity for IQ to be able to push, I mean, the Manta is going to be so much damage. I mean, just the illusions being able to pump out so much. Roshan, I mean, really, I've kind of been expecting him to be a little bit more important in this game, especially because the Weaver went for that Medallion of Courage, and that's typically an item that's really good to use against Roshan, but no team's interested in it yet. Of course, as I say that, everybody grouped around the Roshan pit. It looks like we're going to have Templar Assassin going in with a double damage rune from the bottle. Is she going to open up on somebody? Is going to go for Shadow Demon, you know, 2 hits, that's pretty normal. And then you're also going to have the Chaos Knight taking a ton of damage. She is going to armlet toggle to try and stay alive. Queen of Pain doing a ton of damage to him, but there you go, second one down, great reverse polarity, but Magnus already taking so much damage. Is there going to be enough between the Weaver and the Magnus? Gem of True Sight on the deck, the Undying Tombstone being dropped, and Weaver content to just try and trade blows while trying to get the kill. You do have the Templar Assassin looking to go pick up a triple kill off on the side, and it looks like she's just going to sit there in the meld. Weaver actually going to cop a lot of damage coming through here on the Shikuchi, and will she look to blink up? But it looks like Magnus going to try and come in here and stop him. Lifestealer wants to continue as well, and he is actually going to get destroyed. Lifestealer looking to get a bash on the last hit there. Looks like Lifestealer going to jump into the Templar Assassin. Wants that extra survivability there. He's going to come out and look to go onto the Chaos Knight. Stops the first pop of the ultimate, but the second pop will go off, and Chaos Knight is going to stop that unstoppable streak. The Rage TP out means Lifestealer is going to get away just fine here. 18-18 after that explosive team fight.
It's a real shame that Magnus ult happened after his team was pretty much already dead. It did catch 3 or 4 heroes. It was really nice positioning, but that's the only problem with a hero like Weaver. He doesn't have that cleave follow-up. He's amazing single target damage, but he doesn't do the AoE. He does have that Gem of True Sight, though, and that's going to be really nice. They're going to kill all these traps, all these wards. You see a ton of wards already getting cleared out around Roshan. But he's not dying, and that's, I think, another really important factor. If this Weaver, can stay alive and not fall, he's going to keep getting these big items and help his team out tremendously. Chaos Knight, in the meantime, he was just before that clearing out a triple-stacked Ancient. So that's what got him that ultimate orb you see sitting there. And he's going to be really close to that Manta. Ooh, is an engagement going to happen here? Weaver's going up the hill. Oh, the Lita's taking too much damage. Going to go down the Shroud Grave, just keeping Dazzle alive for now. But in the meantime, It looks like he's going to drop, and indeed he will. Disruption used on himself for Shadow Demon just to avoid any kind of lifestealer damage. And it looks like they're going to just go for this Roshan.
I mean, they were definitely able to bait it out pretty easily there. I mean, the Radiant clearly saw them looking to clear off the wards and saw him coming out of the Roshan pit. And it actually looks like Misha's going to try and come in here and just see what's going on. He does have that rage, is apparently content to try and go in here and contest it. Magnus getting destroyed, but the slow from Shadow Demon, it's going to be enough. Queen of Pain, though, actually going to drop the ultimate, trying to come in here and do as much damage as she can. Now left to try and fight 3, but she is not going to get out by any means. Not going to look good for her. And Templar Assassin, though, going to try and see if she can pick off some of these heroes. Gets one. Gets another. There you go. Those 2 auto attacks coming in. Going to clear it off. Roshan so low. So easily contestable now. The Tombstone making it so difficult for the Dire to fight this. Tower's going to try and come in here on the Weaver, but he's just not able to do it. And that Tombstone still has a lot of its life left. If a lot of heroes look to come in here, the Tombstone can be so deadly. The health so low. Are we going to see Magus look to blink in? No, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. The Tombstone's actually going to stop that. Now Weaver going to pop the ultimate to try and come back in here and do as much damage as possible. Templar Assassin going in the back, trying to pick off the Lina. Not going to happen quite yet. Is going to continue to pursue while the rest of the Radiant team look to go in on the Weaver. Bunzi trying to soul rip himself up, keep himself alive. But actually Magnus going to go ahead and skewer in. Does he have anything else? Not yet. Just the auto attacks. Just the shockwave is going to be enough to take down one. Bunzi now in trouble. Is he going to go down? Yes, he will, but will actually Templar Assassin getting stunned in the back. Sorry, the Chaos Knight actually going to come in and look to stop that. 2 seconds until they get to try and do it all over again onto that Templar Assassin. The Fraction will get popped. She will look to try and run out here. Does have the Blink Dagger. Can look to get back behind a Dire Tower, actually. Is she looking for an opportunity to maybe go in on Oathkeeper here, who blinks almost right on top of her? They do have the vision, though. A 2-second stun coming out from the Chaos Knight. Will she be able to get away? 3 seconds left on that Blink Dagger. No, it's just getting stopped off. She won't be able to get out of here. And Towers is actually going to pick up that kill. 400 gold for that kill on her. He's now sitting on 2,500. Actually just spent some. It looks like it's going to be yet another Oblivion Staff and the Orc Malevolence completed.
Oh, that silence is going to be crucial here, making sure people cannot get any of those spells off. You know, I'm definitely looking at Queen of Pain. I'm looking at Templar Assassin, no invis, you know, just taking amplified damage. Should be really effective, I think, in this game. A good opener as well for him. And just adding to that overall damage. Attack speed's always a nice thing for Weaver, you know, hitting her pretty hard here at this point. So all around, some smart choice by Q. I mean, unfortunately, they did lose the Roshan to that TA, but she died twice, you know, using that Aegis up. So really, no harm, no foul. Go check out the gold graph. It's been a while. 4,000 for Gamer University, so still definitely keeping ahead. Experience now 2,500. So it's still really close game for 36 minutes, despite all these things. Actually, finally, Magnus ulting. Gonna get the Queen of Pain, using it just for her, but, you know, she's dead for a minute. So maybe they can try to do something off this.
I mean, you know, she's even a really high priority target. I mean, she's the one with that sheep stick, so I mean, just making sure that she's not available, like you said, for another minute. This is a great opportunity now for the Dire to try and do whatever they can. There are some heroes around the middle lane for them to maybe look to try and go for. And you can see there's no vision really keeping track of them. They're actually just going to use this opportunity themselves to put up some additional vision. They do have that Gem of True Sight, so they don't have to be all that concerned about their movements being revealed if Weaver was there. But it looks like the rest of the team, IQ, they're just going to look to try and go bottom, try and take out this tier 2 tower. It's already pretty significantly hurt. But Templar Assassin running up. Is she going to put herself into danger here? Disruption could maybe do a lot to her. Yeah, looks like that's what they're going to do. Dazzle wants to come in. Just boss mode. Runs up to the front, but Templar Assassin blinks, and one attack more would have killed Shadow Demon, but unfortunately she has to retreat. Lifestealer coming in. The Tombstone being dropped in the middle of the team fight. Chaos Knight looking like he isn't sure what he wants to do quite yet. He doesn't want to fight on this. He actually is going to send his illusions to destroy the Tombstone, and that's going to cover their retreat. But the Templar Assassin blinking up wants to try and keep this going. The armlet being toggled there. Haste up on the Magnus, so he can try and stick around if he wants to. That is a fast little piggy trying to get himself away. He has a health left, but it's not going to be enough. Queen of Pain is actually going to pick up that last kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, some TP is going top to try and stop this Weaver, who tried to take advantage of that situation. Got the top tier 2 tower down to 633 health, so at least they're able to get a little bit out of that, but man, I really did like what IQ did there in that team fight. I mean, they pressed up. Once that Tombstone went down, they're like, yeah, probably not a great fight for us to take. Chaos Knight gets himself out, micros those illusions to take down the Tombstone. Really great play for him. And I gotta keep talking because Dazzle just gets annihilated. Weaver and the Chaos Knight doing way too much damage for him to be able to handle.
Oh, this is the only unfortunate part with the support late game. They do get, you see Shadow Demon almost getting 2-shot. You see all these heroes. I mean, they don't have a chance against these bursty heroes. And now Queen of Pain, could she be in trouble again? Chaos Knight gonna whiff the stun, a good blink there. He has a TP scroll, he's gonna use it, but this could be easily taken out. The Reality Rift, no follow-up, unfortunately. Lina not in range to use anything else, so going to just barely survive. It was almost looking like Deja Vu, but there was no Magnus ult, thankfully, that time to interrupt her. But yeah, I mean, the Dezo finished up. I'm going to look at items in general since it's been kind of wild since we've generally done that. Lifestealer actually finishing up Mjolnir instead of going for the Abyssal Blade. I want to kind of get your opinions on a second on that. Meanwhile, we got the mech. Undying doesn't really have anything else here. It looks like for the most part, all other items have kind of stayed the same. So yeah, what are your opinions on a Mjolnir versus Abyssal Blade here?
I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it's okay. We actually see him infesting into the Templar Assassin, so they might be looking to gank. But I think that you would typically see the damage lifestealers look to go for that Desolator, but because Templar Assassin has it, he doesn't have to go for it. And it's just some extra cleave to help deal with these illusions. And of course, I gotta stop that because they're looking to go in here on the Weaver, but it looks like they weren't able to get the sheep off fast enough. Will they finally have enough damage? The time lapse, though, is actually going to pop off, and that's going to allow Weaver to continue to run away. The Shadow Strike still on him, still ticking. Doesn't have a TP to get out of here, and he is the one carrying the gem. If they keep this up, this could not only be a great kill for them, but it's also going to mean the dropping of the gem, and they are going to be able to grab it. That really is unfortunate for them. They are now going to have themselves a second. No, they're just going to kill it off by the looks of it. Queen of Pain sitting on one of her own. But, I mean, I do like that choice. That is actually fairly popular in Lifestealer. Not of late, but used to be. Just getting the attack speed really is ramping up his damage substantially. So, you know, I don't have too many problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pickup either way. You know, attack speed, obviously, for that armlet damage, because he's hitting hard with that armlet already, so, yeah, it doesn't necessarily need the damage component. I was just thinking more about the stun on that Weaver, but obviously with the eye, they're not having too much troubles. As long as they keep one up on Queen of Pain or someone, you know, they can track him down and get him killed. They're going to gank this Undying mid, and he is in a lot of trouble. Oh, God, he's in a lot of trouble. Disruption, Light Strike Array. I don't even have time to say enough spells that were casted because it was just so many in succession. But that was a great pick-off there with the Weaver buyback. 5 now, 5-man pushing the mid. And can they get a tower here? They have him power up both on the Magnus and on the Chaos Knight, doing a lot of cleave, extra burst damage here. You see the plate mail actually go Chaos Knight, so next up is going to be that Assault Kara. It's going to be really nice for him. But this tier 2 should absolutely fall. We'll see if they can get into the base more. It's only Undying, though. I mean, he's strong presence. Don't get me wrong. That Tombstone, of course, that ultimate for amplified damage, but, you know, it's not like it's a TA or Lifestealer down. But here comes the Chaos Knight ult, and this is some tower pushing potential. And here they go. Queen of Pain just ulting illusions just to kill, but it didn't even kill them. They're very tanky. And that tower is already gone. Lifestealer coming in here with that buff. Gonna get disrupted, though. Queen of Pain trying to do the best she can. It looks like they're going to try to retreat here. Be content with just getting that tower, and boy, I would be.
Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting choice by both teams there. I mean, if you looked in the top lane, you had the Lifestealer looking to push top lane. You can see he got the tier 3 there down to 600 health. You had Templar Assassin take the tier 2 bottom and able to do a little bit of damage to that tier 3. So, I mean, yeah, ultimately, you're saying, okay, a tier 2 for a tier 3, but the amount of harassment damage to the other towers that Templar Assassin and Lifestealer were able to do, you could maybe think it's worth it, really, to open them up an opportunity later on if they're able to get themselves an opening. So you did finally see the TPs back, which finally stopped that push in the middle lane, but you know, good presence of mind by those heroes to try and make the most they could while they were away from their base.
Oh, but they're going to push mid. Actually, Weaver, definitely a smart choice. Gets the Reaver. He's going to go for that heart. Going to try to get tankier. That is kind of one of his issues. You know, he is a little squishy with all these kind of damage items with Orchid and Medallion. But, you know, now with that Lincoln's and then a heart on top of it, he's going to be really difficult for them to kill despite, you know, just being a little lonely Weaver. So, got to see if he can get that up in time. Here comes the push. Tier 2 is absolutely going to fall, of course. Too much damage. And that's another DD rune for Templar Assassin. Couldn't get better timing for that, for this push. But we'll have to see if they group up here or not. They're going to look to maybe push this, or are they? They're not sure they want to go in. And when you're against a Magnus, it's scary, especially going uphill. You don't know where he is necessarily, and you don't want him to blink combo your team. It's going to destroy you.
Yeah, and because that tier 3's down, there's a huge opportunity there for the Dire. I just wanted to say, you know, I think Ogre Magi would be very proud of the random runes that Templar Assassin's been able to get. That's a lot of double damages in a row. You can see sitting on the data list. So there you go. Templar Assassin, Ogre Magi, they're on that same page. They want that, you know, percent chance to own. But you can see actually smoke being popped by the Dire. They want to pursue, and they're going to have a great opportunity to. Do they actually drop the RP just for the untying? Yes, they are looking for an opportunity on another, but they're just going to find the one. Dazzle, unfortunately, not going to do so hot. Gets skewered, jumping off the cliff. I'm sure that did a lot of damage there. Magus just skewering in, doing a ton, and 2 down now. They have the opportunity again to look to push that middle lane, but again, look at how the Radiant team has split. Queen of Pain in the bottom lane, and then you also have the Templar Assassin in the top. It looks like they both do have TPs on them. Queen of Pain already heading back, but Templar Assassin might look to just try and take this down. No, she realizes she's needed back in the base.
Can they defend this without undying it? Dazzle, they're going to sure try. Disruption comes out. Queen of Pain doing big ult, but Mech kind of cancels out. Lita getting picked off, will do so. Templar Assassin now silenced up by that Orchid, but Magnus is going to go down too. She is just destroying this team. Shadow Demon goes down. Will they get the kill? Lifestealer goes down, but now it looks like they're going to have to fight this Lanaya, and she is just so strong at this point. Chaos Knight on the retreat. Will he go down? The ultimate from Dazzle, and that is an ultra kill, I believe, for Templar Assassin, just wrecking them all. 2 or 3 shotting each of them, and wow, is she strong.
Unfortunately, while Templar Assassin killed off those 4 heroes, there were another 4 heroes beating on the Raxes. Those Chaos Knight illusions. Ooh. Focusing down those buildings means that despite the victory, they are now lane down. They're looking to try and get a rebuttal here, though. Looks like Roshan has respawned. Templar Assassin going to kill that off very quickly. Has the room all ready for the Aegis, while the rest of the team looking to just push down the middle. And you can see Chaos Knight realizes the dire straits they're in. Magnus as well. You're going to have as many buybacks as they can get here. Templar Assassin gets the Aegis, and it looks like the Gamer University team content to just get that advantage and force so many buybacks. I mean, that's potentially huge. You do have the Assault Curious recipe as well as the Chainmail in the stash of the Chaos Knights. So you can see that having to buy back there really is going to slow down that item. And now, I mean, really, I feel like Gamers University are still in a great position to try and go in if they want. The Magnus ult is up, but just the amount of damage that Templar Assassin is able to do, I mean, they might be able to take a fight here.
It's definitely going to depend a lot on their positioning. You know, they can't be chunked up here. If they get clumped up, Lena's going to follow up with a stun. Chaos Knight Weaver is going to do a ton of damage, and they're going to melt. So yeah, it's really going to depend on a lot on positioning, not getting caught out. So we'll have to see how that goes. TA, God, she just does so much damage. You saw it last fight. It could easily happen again. Weaver kind of being a little manly here. Going to find a team. You're going to be like, oh god, nope, not for me. Going to back out here. Pretty smart choice, may I add. Has the VIP booster, by the way, so only about 130 gold off that recipe to get that heart. Maybe they're going to let him farm that since he's not going to be able to buy back in the immediate future, I believe it is. Yeah, he's no, he's just gold short, so maybe he's going to just save for that instead, and that'd probably be the smarter choice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's funny, too. I'm actually looking at the kill death assist chart for the first time this game. It's so funny, this split you have. Those top 4 heroes have such fantastic records. I mean, Chaos Knights is a little bit close, but you have these 4 heroes that are just clearly winning the KDR, and the rest of the team just getting annihilated. 3 heroes on 1 and a lot of deaths and a good number of assists. Unfortunately, Dazzle, I mean, 110 and 4, not optimal perhaps, but you know, he is going to be just being a little bookend on the bottom of our chart here, sticking in. But actually we have the Naix, the Lifestealer, looking to get inside the Queen of Pain, nice and cozy in there. Might be looking to jump in, try and do a lot of damage with that Infest right off the bat. And Templar Assassin up really far, decides to blink away. It is not want to go in quite yet. They still do have that Aegis. They have it for a decent amount of time. Actually, 1 is away for the Dire, so this might be a great opportunity for them to go in. The Sheep goes into the Chaos Knight, and the Dazzle ult will be dropped, so they are going to be really buff here for a while. You do have the Chaos Knight, I believe it was, running around. Oh, it must have just been an illusion around the minimap, pardon me. But it does look like Gamers University do want to try and force this. They do have still 3 minutes with that Aegis, so they can look to do this slow if they want to, or they can just look to just bust into the base. The world's their oyster right now as they just want to try and play some pressure here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very deciding. It could be a deciding fight, I have to say. If Radiant gets it the way they want to, if they can wipe them and still have a couple heroes up, they might take the base, might take a lot of lanes, might even win the game. But it could also be reversed on the same token. These death timers are large, very large at this point. Of course, TA does have buyback money and an Aegis, so she'll be up regardless. But we're going to see how this goes. Tombstone's going to fall, but they're going to pick it off before the fight starts. That's huge. Queen of Pain, BKB getting annihilated. She's going to fall. The ult goes down, but they're just trying to not let Max ult, but it's too late. 2 heroes cleaved down. Lifestealer in the middle, going to get cleaved down as well. TA just retreating. They got the tower, but it would cost 4 heroes down, and now they're going to definitely look to push out a different lane here.
What just happened?
Queen of Pain just, I'm not going to say threw it, but wow, did she get cocky there.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the BKB. That was the 10-second duration drop there. Thinking that was going to be enough, but I mean, Weaver Chaos Knight, they're just doing so much right now. It's not that spell damage that's really going to be doing a lot to her. You can say, though, other MVP of the fight was the Dire Creep Wave taking a bottom tower as well, but this might be a great time to buy back. Lifestealer appears to have it. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring up that buyback status. It is just I mean, they can't do it. There's nothing they can do quite yet. Lifestealer now, it actually just comes up and is available for him. Are they going to look to do that to try and defend this tier 3? It doesn't look like it quite yet. Templar Assassin going to do whatever she can by herself to hold this off. They are even going to drop the Dazzle ultimate, just buff her up a little bit, but gets secured out, and that's going to be the Aegis. Lena getting taken very low. She's going to turn around and try and assist with a stun. Is going to open up with that, but now Undying getting taken solo by the Weaver. It looks like he will not die quite yet. The heal is going to come out. Weaver actually time-lapsing in the back is going to be able to get away. Templar Assassin just dishing out way too much damage for Shadow Demon to be able to deal with. So they are going to pick up a hero there. They don't lose any Raxes. They don't have to buy back. So, I mean, overall, the Radiant have to be fairly happy with that. Gamers University definitely still in it.
Wow. A solid defense, only losing a tower with the TA defending. I mean, her cleave damage from the side blades is just enormous. You saw her clearing the wave and pretty much half the heroes with just a couple attacks. Divine Rapier on the TA. That's after the Aegis just goes down. There's still a good chunk of 5-6 minutes left before that comes up. So she is confident in her team's abilities here. And I'm not really upset with this selection. She's not been getting killed in these fights. She's been playing it smart. Now she can definitely either backdoor or do a ton of damage in base pushes. She has a lot of options with this Divine Rapier. Wow. 1500 crit on that creep wave. I mean, this is scary, scary stuff.
I'm really surprised that she feels confident enough, or that she just made the decision, I guess, to walk up and just say, hey, what's up, guys? By the way, I made a purchase. 4-second stun on the Undying. Chaos Knight wants to go in here. RP being dropped. Undying just gets annihilated. Another kill onto the Nyx, just completely evaporated.
Oh, no!
The attack damage. Dazzle looks like he may be able to get out, but not so lucky for the rest of the team. And oh no, a complete team wipe. The Templar Assassin
Rapier.
Fine Rapier. That might be it, yeah. Lifestealer disconnects. It comes down to the last minute. Way too much damage coming out here. And IQ going to win the game against Gamers University.
What a turnaround. I'm looking at the graph still after that. I mean, experience, of course, huge dip, but the goal was still the Radiant's favor the whole game. But, IQ with their hero selections, it really came down to the positioning and the team fight. I mean, the Magnus ult, you can't discount that, how effective that is. It's a super long stun on AoE terms. Magic immunity doesn't matter, goes right through it. And, they really just dished out a ton of damage. That was Chaos Knight late game, again, especially with the Manta. Just does a whole ton of damage, bursts down the heroes, and wow, what a solid game.
Yeah, I mean, the Magnus with the Empower, and, you can maybe look to, if you want, the Dazzle record and really how effective he was able to be in this game. But, I mean, both teams, all the players really did really well in this game. It was great to watch. I'm just going to say that the Divine Rapier finally falls to Magnus, able to carry it to victory. But yeah, it was great to be able to cast with you, man. It's a fun game.
Absolutely. So everyone, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you need to follow us, you can follow at Dota On Demand here. J4Y and BDL once again were your casters, and we hope to see you guys again shortly.